Okay, so the famous painting I'm going to try is Van Gogh's Cafe Terrace at Night, and I'm going to start by underpainting the canvas in yellow, and that's just to make the whole picture much brighter. Then on top of this, I'm going to sketch my picture with pencil, and this will be the guide for my painting. The colours I'm going to use are turquoise, cobalt blue, white, cadmium red and primary yellow. And I'm going to start with the cool colours for the background. So turquoise and the cobalt blue. And this will be the base for the cooler areas. So this will be the buildings, the sky, the pavement and the door. Then I'm going to mix a warmer colour, so a light green. And I'll use this for the cafe area, the tree, and also the little shop on the right, and a little bit of the pavement as well. Then with a warmer color, so yellow, I'm going to move and paint the lantern, people in the cafe, and some of the pavement. Then I'm going to mix light orange, and this is for the floor of the cafe. Then I'm going to add a little bit of black to some blue and a little bit of red, just to make the blue less artificial and more natural looking. And I'm going to use this dark color for the darker areas at the back, for the buildings in shadow, and to outline some of the details of the picture. Simple outlines. I don't want it to be realistic. I want the brush strokes to be thick, kind of like in Van Gogh's style. The silhouettes of the people in the cafe. This figure at the back is actually a horse and carriage, if you look closely at the original painting. And I'm also going to outline all of the tables and chairs in the cafe. Next, I'm going to mix some light blue, and I'm going to try a special effect on the sky. So I'm going to lay some brush strokes horizontally and then vertically to try and create this cross-hatching effect, which is something Van Gogh used in some of his pictures. Then with a lighter blue, I'm going to add some circles, not perfectly round because we want them to look natural. Some big, some small, and this is for the stars. Then with some white, I'm just going to add a little dab in the center of each, just to make them really stand out. Next, I'm going to mix some light blue, and I'm going to try and emulate Van Gogh's style with his thick brush strokes. So I'm going to do some thick vertical lines in different areas of the picture, on the different parts of the buildings. And I want these brush strokes to stand out. I'm not blending them in. It's not supposed to be a realistic picture, it's supposed to be expressing emotions and feelings. So I'm outlining the windows, painting the tabletops, a little bit on the windows. Then I'm going to mix a green just to go over some of the details. Again, simple outlines, as it's not supposed to be a realistic picture. Next, I'm going to take some time, and this is to add some layers of color. So I'm just going to be adding thick layers of color in thick brush strokes, colors on top of colors, layers on top of layers. I'm painting over some of the areas which I've already painted. I'm going around the outside of the doors, some of the details on the roof of the cafe. Different colors, some yellow, some oranges, painting the side of the floor of the cafe, some of the details, some light orange. Again, going over some of the areas I've painted, some of the chairs, parts of the window, and then layering the stones on the pavement. I'm mixing some green, and that's to contrast with the orange, because Van Gogh used lots of contrasting colors in his picture, and it really brings this sense of energy alive. The painting feels like it vibrates with all of these contrasting colors. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit with some black, because Van Gogh didn't actually use any black in his painting. He just used very dark blue. So I'm outlining the door in black and then adding some highlights with some light blue. Then I'm going to cheat a little bit more with some black brush strokes on the pavement, a few of the details, a little bit on the people, on the figures. And then finally, I'm just going over the pavement with some more layers of orange, some pale orange. Again, thick brush strokes, I'm not blending anything in. Some light blue for the cooler areas. Again, if you notice, everything around the center of the picture by the light of the cafe is more yellow, it's more warm. And then further away from the central area, I'm adding more blue. So I'm adding some dark blue in the colder areas. And it really creates this sense of warmth around the cafe. Some light yellow for where the light is reflecting on the pavement. Few little bits of vermilion, which is a red orange, just in a few areas. And again with some more blue for the cooler areas, just to emphasize the contrast. And there you go, finished. This is actually the first time I've ever tried painting a Van Gogh picture, and I'm pretty happy with it.